Hello and welcome, I'm Tandy. On today's video, we'll be playing Gruul Hardened Scales, aka Ozolith the Shattered Spire in Standard. This is a deck built by Harlan Fear, as far as I know. It is a green and red strategy centered around artifacts and +1/+1 counters, thanks to the card Ozolith the Shattered Spire. We've seen this type of effect in Standard before on Hardened Scales and a couple of other more expensive things. The deck is going to play very similarly to those old Hardened Scales decks. We're going to try to put a bunch of counters on things. This itself can help put counters on things, which is really nice. The fact that it puts one counter on something means it puts two counters on something, which is pretty cool. And it's legendary, but it does cycle for two if you draw extras. So a really sweet card is Ozolith the Shattered Spire, and this whole deck is centered around it. Our early drop creature is playing Teething Wormlet. This is a 1-cost 1/1. It says as death touch as long as you control 3 artifacts. That's kind of window dressing. But it says whenever an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. And then this is the first time this ability is triggered. This turn, put a +1/+1 counter on it. So it grows pretty quickly, especially with Ozolith. And it'll gain life in the meanwhile. And if you have 3 artifacts and draw it late, it's a 1/1 death touch, which isn't so bad. Ginger Brute, which is just a 1-cost 1/1 haste, but can become semi-unblockable. We have Iron Apprentice, which comes in with a counter, and when it dies, it puts a counter. So with Ozolith, it comes in with 2, and when it moves those 2, it becomes 3. We have Inti Seneschal the Sun. This is a new card that is excellent. 2-cost 2/2. Whenever you attack, you may discard a card. If you do, put a counter on target attacking creature and it gains trample until end of turn. But then the second ability says whenever you discard a card, one or more cards, exile a top card of your library and you can play it until end of turn. Works well with the channel lands like Boseiju and Sokenzan. Works well with its attack ability. The Ozolith, which we talked about, is the heart and soul of the deck. Quirion Beastcaller, which is a 2-cost 2/2, says whenever you cast a creature spell, put a 1/1 counter on Quirion Beastcaller. And then when it dies, you distribute the counters among any number of target creatures you control. Teachings of the Kirin, this is a singleton. 2-cost enchantment. Mill 3, put a 1/1 spirit into play. Chapter 2 is put a counter on target creature you control. Chapter 3 is exile this and flip it. And the backside's a 1/1. Whenever it attacks, you either get a 1/1 by exiling a creature from the graveyard, or put a counter on something by exiling a non-creature. Very weirdo card, but interesting nonetheless. Agatha Soul Cauldron. This works really well with some creatures we're going to talk about in a second, but we've seen this mostly in Modern with things like Walking Ballista, Yawgmoth, and now we're going to be using it with things like Ginger Brute to give things unblockable, but mostly we're using it for this card, Voltaren Thrillseeker. Thrillseeker is a 3-cost 1/1 with backup 2, so it gets 2 counters on any creature when it comes into play. And then itself and the creature with backup both have the ability to spend 1 sack it. This deals damage equal to its power to any target. And so basically we're trying to make a big thing. Use Agatha Soul Cauldron to exile Thrillseeker, put a bunch of counters on your biggest thing. All your creatures become Thrillseeker because they have counters on them. Throw them all at your opponent's face. That's kind of the combo with Agatha's and Thrillseeker. We're also playing Sentinels as a 4 of. This is basically just a very good value body that generates maps which can explore and put counters on things as well. Mana base, pretty straightforward. Bunch of dual lands, some Mishra's Foundries to give us a little punch later in the game. A couple of channel lands like Boseiju and Sokenzan. And because we're a 1/2 drop deck, we're only playing 2 Rockfallville instead of the full 4. Sideboard, some interaction with Torch the Tower and Lithomantic Barrage. This is going to be taking care of smaller creatures. This is going to be taking care of Esper creatures. 3 copies in the Festivities. This is for a number of the Skrelv decks and other 1 toughness based strategies. 1 Frillback for Disenchantees. Graveyard stuff doesn't matter that much. Life's okay. Tomio Safekeeping, Protect My Stuff, etc., etc. Arlen Pack's Hope, sideboard threat that allows you to go a little bit bigger when your opponent's playing Wrath of God effects. We can make a couple Wolves, transform it maybe. A couple Haywire Mites to be disenchants. Works nicely with Agathas to make more than one thing have disenchant. It's good against Beanstalk decks. This is Gruul Scales Display League. It's good to get the teachings going. And then if we draw the 3rd land, we can go Beastcaller plus Apprentice on 3. If we don't draw the land, that's okay. Maybe I should just play Beastcaller. But Thrillseeker plus Beastcaller is pretty powerful. Eyeglass Siren, okay. Another Copper Line. I'm going to go ahead and get the teachings down so we can get it flipped. I'm going to attack if they want to trade. I'm fine with it. Put a counter on our spirits. Deep Cavern Bat. It's gonna maybe take my Thrill Seeker, but I should be able to just attack a bunch. What's up, buddy? What's up? This is Jaeger. Everyone say hi to Jaeger. The Beast Collar instead, okay? Put a counter on the Iron Apprentice. What? What Jaeger? Alright, let's go Thrill Seeker. I'm gonna put 2 counters on the Spirit Token just to do tempo. And then next turn we can sack Thrill Seeker to kill the bat if we want to. If they double block here, we put 2 counters on the Thrill Seeker. Hey. What? What? Subterranean Schooner. Alright, so we can kill bat. This is just going to be able to block. Hey, got my food. No, you're not supposed to do that. Flooding out here. What can we do? Alright, let's just target the bat and see if they crew. Then we can play that, play the Iron Apprentice, and probably pass the turn. They don't know about the forests. Next turn we can attack with the 4/4 maybe. Cut down on that. Okay. It's only crews for 1, right? Yeah. Alright, so if I attack with everybody, they just crew and eat the 3/3. We'll just say go. It felt like they have 6, but I'm not gonna run it. Name from Pacific Rim? Yeah, partially. Good call out. They reveal, make disappear, and put into the grave. Alright, so the Kieran. I can exile a creature and put a counter on something like this. They only have 1 blocker. But they'll definitely eat this. Is it worth it to put a counter and start attacking? Yeah, I think so. We're probably going to get punked. But we'll just put it on the 3/3 and put it up to a 4/4. Alright, Mastermind. Okay. So that's just trading. I guess the 2/2. So this is going to crew the Shambler. And then they get to eat a 1/1 and eat something. I guess they get to. It doesn't eat this, but it puts counters on it. I'm gonna put it on the other Iron Apprentice, so that way if we get another way to put a counter on it, we can have 2 big attackers. Maybe I should just put it all on here though, in case I draw another Welder and Thrill Seeker or Agatha's. Found Darkslick Shores. Okay, so they can't play like Shoulder this turn if that's their only land. Alright, attack for 7, see what they do. Probably gonna bring in Tamiya safekeeping. This is a really tricky deck to play against, you know? A lot of flash, a lot of cheap interaction. A lot of them having perfect info. We've gotten a little unlucky just drawing so many lands. We see a bunch of stuff in our graveyard, but... Alright, well, they're going to go to 2. Pretty scary for them, but we'll see. Maybe they'll just be dead. I have to imagine that they have Urtai. Well, we drew the Cauldron. Let's force the action. So if they have Urtai, they can counter this, but I draw a card. But if they don't have it... Oh, now I'm just gonna say go, and if they ever tap out for anything, we get to eat Epicure or Thrill Seeker and kill them. Maybe I'll just attack with both. This will. Yeah, I'll just attack with a 4/4. All right, so we will, I guess, put Schooner first, and then I'm going to target Thrill Seeker. And now both of my creatures have counters on them. So let's put a counter on the Iron Apprentice. And then we'll go sack target you. Put a counter there. But then they're going to go Tidebinder, but then we sack again. Or not. All right, cool. No Tidebinder. Very, very good news for me. So they have a bunch of black creatures on top of their blue creatures. I don't think Lithomantic Barrage is that good, but I do like Torch the Tower, okay. Combat Safekeeping's alright. They have a lot of cheap removal, but we can counter it. Not sure if we really want it, but I don't really want to change too much. I'm curious if Quirion Beastcaller is better or worse than Questing Druid in the deck. Questing Druid seems like it'd be really strong in this strategy. But I like Beastcaller on theme. I don't think I'm going to side anything. I don't think the sideboard cards are good enough. I'll just be mono pressure. Soldiers any good in this format? No idea. Maybe. Bonus on 6 cards. We got the turn 1 Wormlet. Oh, Wormlet. Try Druid, but we need to trim on the artifacts. I think Druid might be better than just playing Beastcaller. You know? I just don't. I've never been impressed by this card. Because it doesn't do anything if your opponent kills it early. It needs like some time to build up. And even if it builds up, it's like not even that good. It's not, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but that's kind of the gist. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Agathas down. Question mark? I don't think they're gonna spell pierce me, but maybe. Cut down, that's fine. Oh, I don't really care about that part. Does it? I guess it doesn't count artifacts, that's why. Oh, this is bad news. Alright, let's go. I guess Quirion Beastcaller into Iron Apprentice. That way, extra counters will go there. No, that's fair. That's fair. Alright, a Shieldred. I'm gonna go ahead and put a counter on the Beastcaller so I can maybe attack into the Shieldred. Let's go Wormlet. Play Sentinels. I'm gonna attack with the 6/6. And if it dies, we get to just put 4 counters on the Iron Apprentice. This thing has Death Touch, so we'll block if they get it. Let us. Gix is very strong in the Spyglass Siren deck. I've been really liking Mog's list. I think the Mog list is pretty cool. Well, Thrill Seeker is the nut here. Even if they counter it, we have the Cauldron. Put on the Sentinel. We can put it on the Quirion, but I assume that it's going to get killed in response. Alright, let's see how they block here. My guess is Shieldred's going in front of something, but I'm assuming that they're also going to do other things. We can, I guess we don't really do much here before damage. The only thing that has the backup ability is the Sentinel. Alright, so this trade is fine with me. And then we'll put all the counters onto the Thrill Seeker, because if it dies, then we can just eat it. I guess we can spread them around. 3 and 2. We could have tried to throw them all on the Sentinel, but that would have been whatever. Sidebinder? That's fine. Alright, so if we're not going to map, do we Gingerbrute or do we map? Or if we're not going to Thrill Seeker? I think we're out of the storm here, so let's just put a counter on the Thrill Seeker / get a land. Gingerbrute on top, we'll put that in the grave. I'm going to go and put a counter on Iron Apprentice. I doubt it will do much, but now everyone has Gingerbrute ability for next turn, so all my stuff should be unblockable. If they're doing map, that's great news for me. Go for third on top. Alright, so at any time we can Agatha's the Thrill Seeker. So let's start with this can't be blocked except by Haste Creature. Alright, so we'll make both these unable to be blocked. Attack for 8. Get another map. Any haster over there? Yeah. Any blockers? I think they have another Tidebinder. I'm just going to wait for them to do anything before I do anything. Alright, so they're going to go to 3. And now I'll play a Gingerbrute post-combat. And now if they ever tap below 3 mana, I go Agatha's on Thrill Seeker and they should be dead. Well, that sounds like a cool build of the deck, Nick. Maybe that's worth exploring. I am fine with this happening. Because they're still just dead to double Gingerbread activation next turn. Or Agatha's on Thrill Seeker. So I got them locked. Got them in the hard lock. 3, 4. Yeah, not enough to kill. Alright, so we attack with both. If they ever do anything, we Epicure. Or Thrill Seeker, rather. GG. Hey, we won a match! Alright, well, we don't have a red source, but we're going to keep in the hopes that we find one. Do you see the new spoiler, Sharp-Eyed Ricky? Not if it came out in the last, hour. I've been streaming. Jetmere Garden. I milled over 3 non-lands. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. Literally. It's normally when this happens, you'll mill over 3 lands, right? When you need the land the worst. That's how it usually goes. Alright, here's Sharp-Eyed Ricky. Is this an official preview card or is this spoiler? Alright, 2 cost, 2/2 Vigis, rare. When a creature enters the battlefield under your control, if its power is greater than Sharp-Eyed Ricky's power or its toughness is greater than Sharp-Eyed Ricky's toughness, put a +1/+1 counter on this and investigate. I don't think that goes in this deck, but I could be wrong. Oh, shut up your beanstalk! Land! That's a pretty good draw anyway. Allows my wormies to get big. I actually really like Teething Wormlet. I think it's a very underrated card, but the removal in Pioneer is way too good against it. But in Standard, the removal is much worse, so maybe Standard's where it's at. Pel Collector's Father? Yeah, maybe. Alright, so they don't have enough to... Oh, man. I'm going to play Cauldron. This is going to get extra damage with my Wormlets, and the counter itself is going to do an extra damage. We'll go and get Gingerbrute under it. I'm going to put a counter on the Spirit. I'm assuming that we're going to get swept here with Depop. I'm hoping we don't get hit with Depop, but we'll see. Most people play Sunfall, but, you know. Of course they have Depop. Why wouldn't they have Depop? Therefore, yeah, I'm hoping Thrillseeker just colds them in a second, but we'll see. Alright, Beast Caller exiled, that's fine. Still have 7 cards in hand, but if I ever get land 4, I can go Thrillseeker, put a counter on it, throw it at you. Something like that. And then once Thrillseeker's in the graveyard, it's even better. Because of the Soul Cauldron. Assuming the Cauldron doesn't get hit with Binding or whatever. Ah, here comes the kicker. Alright, let's see if they do 2 to this or 4 to this. My guess is they're going to do all 4. Alright, so they're going to gain 2 up to 6. Shubdu says, hey Tandy, placed 9th at my first RCQ on Sunday. Unfortunately, too many draws for Breakers to matter. I was 4-2. Made some adjustments for this upcoming Saturday for a free RCQ. Blue Eye Control feels so strong. Nice. It's only going to get better with the new set, too. I'm sure you've seen some of those cards. They look sweet. The new Mana Leak, Mishra's Foundry. Wish this was the Rockvale. This thing having lifelink is nightmarish. Not in general, just for me right now. Alright, so let's take a look at Kimmy's Gruul Cauldron deck. Realm Breaker. Okay, so this is... It doesn't untap the land, though. That's the one thing I don't like about Ren and Realm Breaker. Minus to get a thing back is cool. Cacophony Scamp's cool. Cenote Scout. Scoundrel. Miglaws. Questing Druid. Seed of Hope. Can I not imagine Seed of Hope is that good? I know it mills, but the mill thing is not necessary. We need to be more... Like, the reason why this deck is strong, I think, is because it's like a Gruul beatdown deck that just happens to have Thrill Seeker Agathas. And your deck is like way too focused on the self-mill stuff with Ran, Seed, and Teachings. Alright, let's see what they target. If they target Sentinels, I think I still have a shot, but it's light. If they target the Soul Cauldron, we can put a counter on the Sentinels, and then we have a big attacker that they're kind of forced to block. Well, Ladoja, I mean, I guess the gist is mostly that, you don't necessarily have white mana in your deck. Make Disappear still a great card. Don't get me wrong. Cauldron, we'll put it to the grave. We just really need red mana here. We're basically unable to kill them now. With two copies of Beanstalk, I doubt I'll be able to come back. They're at too high a life now. Anyway, congrats on the night, Shubdu. It's great to hear. Here comes the big one. Alright, you win. I quit. Alright, we'll go Safekeeping. Haywire Might. Throw back in Arlen. And we're going to trim. All the 1-drops are good. I think we just want to trim Sentinels. Boom. And trim down on the legendary Inti. Oh, this hand's so bad. I don't want to cut the cheap creatures. The cheap creatures are how you deal... I mean, we've dealt massive damage to them in game 1, if you recall. This just costs 4, so I'm going to put it back for now. Love the Arlen. I'm interested to see how good they are in this matchup, but maybe I should keep the one in my opener because it's just like the best flood protection. But at this point, if I flood, I'm like happy-ish because I get to cast Thrill Seeker, maybe activate it, maybe even protect it while casting it. Ooh, that sounds cool, Doja. Maybe. I'm curious. I actually don't know exactly what they're gonna do, and I don't know if they're gonna make one for each different 2-color combination. I doubt it, but one of my favorite counterspells ever was Suffocating Blast from original Invasion block. Like counter a creature, deal 3 to creature. It's like so brutal. I think that's what it was. It might have been counter a non-creature, deal 3 to creature. It was like a weird one. Oh, for sure, Nick. Treasures, animation module. There's a lot to love about that guy. Oh, Rootwire Malcolm? Interesting. I didn't even think about that one. It's kind of expensive though, right? Doesn't that one costs or how much does that cost to prototype? It's a 2-drop? Rootwire? Is that the one that's like a 2/3 for 2? You like to ionize to be playable? Oh yeah. I'm a big ionize fan too. Topiary. Alright, let's hope that we don't get Sunfall next turn. Depop? Okay, so I guess we can only Thrill Seeker for one, so we will. Oh, I'm so stupid, man. Alright, we should have a huge fucking... They should be dead. I'm just so fucking stupid, man. I'm just, like, autopiloting and complete inexperience with the deck. Definitely should have just gave my thing Indestructible Man. And then the counters would have gone onto it, and then we could have attacked and killed them. We'll go Thrill Seeker underneath. Put a counter on this. I'm not going to throw it at them, but... Huge blunder. Easily would have won the game. Archangel of Wrath. Alright, so they're going to bang me for 4. Gain 4. Man, unfortunate. So should be should be going to game 3 here. Let's see if we can figure out a way to win anyway. Archangel Wrath card is pretty cool. I don't think it gets enough, not press, it just doesn't get much credit. Alright, we'll just exile the Ginger Brute. I don't want to pay the mana, but I might be able to use it later. So let's just go ahead and attack. I don't want to discard a card. I'm going to go ahead and play the Inti. But I didn't want to discard a card and put a counter on this anyway, so... Alright. This could be a tough one. Had the kill, messed up. But we're still close to killing. Because of the Agathas with Thrill Seeker. Next turn... If they tap out for Atraxa, and we draw a land, I think they're dead. Wow. Interesting. Alright, let's go attack. I'm going to exile their Topiary. Just to put a counter on my thing. I'm going to say go. Hold up safekeeping for my Cauldron. And I think I have them dead next turn through most things. With Tamio, Unblockable, and Thrill Seeker. They could have Tidebinder or something like that. Hard Migration. Okay, these don't have haste, so that's okay. Yeah, it has the Ginger Brute ability as well, so... Alright, so let's go... Can be blocked. Alright, sack this creature, deal to you, I guess. Interesting. I needed a land to guarantee a kill there through Leyline Binding. Hilarious how the land dodges all the removal. Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think Make Disappear is a perfectly fine power level card, and it's very good, Ladoja. And if you don't play it, I don't know why. Like, it's every time my opponent plays against me, I just think, oh, that card's awesome. All right, I still haven't even drawn the Ozolith yet, so let's just get all this back in. They don't even know I have Sylvan Safekeeping in my hand. Or Tommy has Safekeeping in my hand. Yes, we do. You won't shut up about it. Another one lander. Alright, this hand's way better. Now, do I want Teachings or Queer and Beast Caller? And I think the answer is Teachings, because it's two different mini threats in one. I could have put back Apprentice. Putting back Apprentice might have been the move. Jun Bant, so they have it all? Or is that they have the ability to Binding? I'm going to go and get Teachings down. I don't think there's any reason to play Cauldron first, because Teachings makes an extra thing. No way they Binding this, right? That'd be silly. I milled over 3 non-lands, one of which is a Thrill Seeker for the Cauldron, so that's cool. Let's put a counter on the Iron Apprentice. We're going to play Cauldron and hold up Safekeeping. Let's go and exile the Thrill Seeker to put max pressure down. Alright, let's see if they target. And we're going to Safekeeping this more than likely. Alright, we're going to put it on the Iron Apprentice just because if it dies, we get counters extra on the Spirit token. Although most of the removal does exiles, so. Move. Topiary? Alright, we might be able to kill him this turn. Let's figure it out. If we draw the lands. Alright, so we can go Shattered Spire. I'll just say go, I guess. If we drew the land, we could have killed them because we sacked this, put counters here, sacked this. Doing this pre-combat doesn't do anything, right? They go because I'm just missing damage. Alright, so they're gonna put counters on this, so I'm gonna, I guess, throw this at face. And then put the counters on that. And now they're just dead to Ozolith plus Thrill Seeker. Yeah, Agatha's plus Thrill Seeker is cracked. Plus Iron Apprentice. This whole deck's awesome. Alright, we're here for round 3. I'm going to be on the play with our Gruul Scales deck. Opener looks quite good. We'll keep. Turn 1 Ginger, turn 2 Inti, attack. Discard maybe? Maybe not. Maybe we just go for Teachings again on 2 like we've been doing. Now, maybe we turn to Beast Collar, depending on the matchup. Maybe Beast Collar is trash. Good chance Beast Collar is trash. Less teachings, just to get another body. I like teachings on 2 in general. Milling over a couple lands we needed. That's what I'm more used to. Did you give up on the Mentor deck? That's not really how we make content, Tarmogoyf. I just move on to another deck every week. I did write a full sideboard guide for it on my Patreon if you're interested. Alright, here comes a big old Charming Scoundrel. They're looting the Phoenix Chick. Alright. No blocks. Land would be tight. Alright, so now I can play a land. So I think I'm going to discard the Beast Collar. Put a counter on the Gingerbrute. We did hit the land, nice. Sometimes you got to gamble a little bit. And in that spot, I think the counter is worth more than the dead Quirion Beast Collar in hand. It's not dead, but it's a pretty weak Beast Collar in hand. Another Scoundrel, so that's going to allow them to get the Phoenix Chick back if they give it +1/+1 in haste. Oh, yeah. This is going to be attack for 6/7, puts me to 8. I probably have to block. Oh, they didn't bring it back. What does that mean? Are they going to go for a shock on the NT? I think I block. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, so Teachings will transform into the 1/1. Iron Apprentice. We can play Wormlet Apprentice, but I think I'd rather get Sentinels down. Next time we go Wormlet Apprentice, gain 1. Adversary, no kicker. Love it. They can attack and bring back the chick. We'll do some blocking. We'll take a little bit. If they have another Witchstalker Frenzy here, that's bummer. Okay, so we'll block here and here. We'll take 4 down to 6. Alright, we'll go Wormlet, because Wormlet's going to replace itself on life. We'll attack. We'll go put a counter on, I guess, the one that's attacking? Exile just a land. We get another life. That way we're playing around Witchstalker's Frenzy a little bit. But the Teething Wormlet gains life whenever I get an artifact, so it's able to give me a few points to maybe get out of death range. Costs 2 to bring it back. That's right, that's right. This deck seems really sweet so far, man. I don't know. Nothing has reach on my side. Any proliferates? No. We could maybe try to work some in there, though. I don't know if it's necessary. All right, we're gonna play the Ozolith, and then we're gonna map. A map on the Iron Apprentice, I suppose. Purple Song versus Mono Red, yeah. All right, Wormlet down. So now we're dead to Shock. So this will force one block. So we'll exile non-creature. And then we'll put a counter on the Nameless. Or put two counters. Our Sentinels of the City. So they're just going to chump block or nothing. Oh, they didn't block? I guess they missed counter because of the Ozolith. Weird. Alright, throw back in. Haywire Might is not great, but maybe it's worth. Torch the Tower in. I think it's basically just throw back and two Torch the Tower. And then we just trim an Inti and a Ozolith. The creatures are good. Getting board position's good. Inti itself is very susceptible to play with fire, so I think cutting it's fine. Alright. Opponent went up to 61 cards. See how that works out for him. Opener is pretty good. We're going to lead with the Wormlet, and hopefully it just gets us a bunch of life. I think I want a Ginger Brute for... I think that they're just going to kill it. But maybe it's too high upside if they don't kill it. Too high upside if they don't kill it. That's my line. I'm sticking to it. Ronan. Alright, we're going to do a little racing. Next turn we can go Beast plus Ginger Brute. I could have just not played the Soul Cauldron this turn. Oh, the Forge? This is not how you beat me, sir. This is not going to be the way to beat me, sir. We will be racing. We will be racing, Mr. Urbrass Forge. I will block the 3/3 on the 2/1 Urbrass Forge token. If they let me. Because even if my thing dies, I still get a counter on Ginger Brute. I think blocking Felden is wrong. Alright, so Lightning Strike on the Beast Caller, that's fine. Put a counter on the Ginger Brute. Now if they go to like shock this, that's fine. Frenzy this thing? That's fine. I don't know why they would target that. It's only one counter, man. Alright, so we'll put a counter on Wormlet. And that can only be blocked by haste creatures, but Felden can't block anyway. I don't think I'm going to Inti. I'll save it for next turn. Maybe I should have. Alright, so they're gonna get the lightning strike. They're probably gonna hit NT. Alright, so this is a non-lethal attack. Three, 6, 8. I'll just take it. One artifact off the top is lethal because of the Soul Cauldron plus the thing. Alright, we're gonna put a counter on our Wormlet. Do we have to tap to sack? We do. I wish I had intied now. Alright, I think we are going to die. But I guess we might not be dead because we can go up to 8 and block 2 things. We have to soak this and block other stuff. Wow. Alright, so we have to block plus sack. I think I was just dead if they just... I don't know. It doesn't matter. Alright, let's see if... I don't think I have any outs. Alright, well, activating Inti wouldn't have done anything. It's good to know. I guess it would have made my thing a 6/6. It would have done something. I'm gonna do safekeeping just to stop Witchstalker and gain 2. Be on the play for game 3. Opener is pretty solid. 3 lands. Nice curve. If our Wormlet doesn't die on 1, Ozolith on 2 is gonna put him in the ground. Alright. No shock, please. Just play Kamano for me. Alright, well. Fire. I don't think they can win, chat. Definitely not going to win with that thing. Sentinel attack for 5. Is that any good? This is the power of Ozolith. This is the first time so far we've seen it really do its thing. Works really nicely with Wormlet. Forge is nothing. Yeah, they should have cut that card after a board. They can't even block. They might just be dead on board. Okay, so we can activate Mishra and activate Ozolith. This is 2 counters. Could have mapped as well. The old turn 4 kill. Love to see it. Oh, Iron Apprentice. Who would have thought? What ovens? That sounds like a bot message. Maybe you meant Ozolith and it auto-corrected. Is Ozolith expensive or something? Oh, Agatha's. Yeah. Yeah, they're kind of expensive. Oh yeah, the song's a banger. This is my rock band song. I could play this on guitar and sing it at the same time. It made me feel like a real rock star. It's been over a decade though since I did that, I think. Over a decade since I played that video game. Alright. Are we... We're not inting again. They're probably killing something. So what are they killing? Let's throw Seeker onto the Iron Apprentice. Since we have the Agathas, we don't really care. But if we play Sentinel, it's just going to die. If we attack first, they're just going to wait for me to NT and then kill, or they might kill the NT pre-combat. This way we get a little extra damage in. Yeah, they still killed the NT. That's how good NT is here. Brain still stuck on Pioneer? Well, the fine place to be. Alright, we're gonna Sentinels. Guess we'll just say go. If they go attack, we'll block with Thrill Seeker and then throw one at face, probably. My guess is they just won't even attack. I think I'll still throw Thrill Seeker in a turn no matter what, so I can go Agatha's, eat it, use Iron Apprentice to kill Glissa, put the counters on Sentinel attack, and then maybe use the counters on Sentinel to kill. Matter anymore. I guess I didn't need to... I should have just played the Iron Apprentice, probably. Because I'm just going to chump block, but... I don't know. I guess this gets Red Whispers. Yeah, sure, man. If all they do is just play Mosswood Dread Knight, I'm pretty happy. If they don't play anything, that's money. Glissa is kind of dumb, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's not very fun to play against. It's like it has First Strike and Death Touch, which when combined means something completely different than either ability. Which, I mean, that's fine. Glissa just doesn't die in combat, really. I watched someone actually killed in combat the other day. They blocked with 6 creatures. They blocked with 6 creatures and only barely got it. Alright, come on. No attacks. We know. Alright. Alright, so we go Cauldron. Activate on Thrill Seeker, put a counter on the Iron Apprentice. We go kill this, put the counters on the Sentinel. Now we force a chump block. Because if they don't block, they die. Could just throw 7 at face. I think I don't need to do that, so I'm not going to. Force them to kill the Sentinel first, you know. They played Mosswood Dread Knight last turn. Can't imagine that they're in good shape. But we'll see. They get to untap with 5. 5 and 6 are where the money starts in this format. Start getting Cruelty of Gix and stuff. Tandy, just out of curiosity, would questing Druid be something to consider here over like teachings of the Kieran? We actually talked a little bit about that earlier, looking at maybe building in the deck in a different way that allowed you to play questing Druid. But questing Druid doesn't get triggered off of artifacts or green cards, and this deck is mostly artifacts and green cards. And so you're basically just playing for Seek the Beast or 2 mana 1/1 or 2/2, which is fine. I did not expect my stuff to die there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't really want Wormlet, but I kind of wanted the card maybe or the counter. Gonna go and eat their Dread Knights. Well, hold on to the land in case I draw Inti. Plus, I don't want them to know exactly what's in my hand. Gix's command, Sag. All right, now the question is, do I throw? I guess I just throw it at the Lily. That way they don't just like force me to discard a bunch. Restless Cottage. That's fine. I ain't got nothing over here. Just a forest. Perfect draw. Man. I guess maybe if I play Gingerbread, or no, if I play the second Iron Apprentice, I needed my land to come in untapped, I think. Maybe that was it. So they're going to activate Cottage, attack for a bunch. Alright, Shield Red is scary. I don't think we're going to win this game, chat. Guess we'll keep playing. We can activate Foundry, put a counter on it. I think if there's some combo of cards. Mm-hmm. Like if they just activated Restless Cottage and attacked twice, I'd be dead. I guess I wouldn't be dead, but I would be in bad shape. I guess they still can also. Alright, so they're going to hit us for 9? They're going to target Inti, so we'll animate this, put a counter on it, exile the Inti. I don't think I stopped them from making a food. I was reading it, and I don't think it does. It does? That's brutal. All tied together. I'm not going to block. Alright, GG. Mm-hmm. Let's get Arlen in here. I don't think the flash thing's that good, but it could help us play around some weird stuff. Maybe this isn't very good. Is it just Tomio's safekeeping? Check out this Unyielding Gatekeeper. Find 1 for a 3/2 with Disguise. Flips up for 2. When Unyielding Gatekeeper's turn face up, exile another target non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return to the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, this controller creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. Cool card. So it's like a morph that's a blink effect or exile your opponent's thing, give them a 2/2. Or a 2-mana 3/2. Just an extremely versatile castable card. Necker, thanks for the follow. Chat, if you're hanging out and you haven't already, make sure you hit the follow button. I'm playing a lot of Standard in preparation for the RCQ season. I'm also doing content for my Patreon. I'm doing 1 Cyborg guide a week. Trying to, anyway. Good chance we do it on this Gruul deck, because I am enjoying playing it. And I'll probably play it a bunch off stream. We're in the learning phase, figuring out the deck. But deck's winning. We're 3-0. Fantoxic is sick. Yeah, the deck's cool, man. I O2'd, didn't feel it. Wasn't feeling the gameplay. Just gonna move on to something I enjoy more. Alright, game 2. Golgari stuff. Opponent timed out during sideboarding, so not sure what's going on, but opener is pretty good. Let's go ahead and get Iron Apprentice down. We'll go for Shadow Spire next turn. Cauldron Thulsiber seems sick. Oh, I agree. Alright, no need to play the Ozolith before combat, so we'll just go and attack with the Apprentice. I wish the Ozolith was whenever... I wish the second ability instead of cycling was whenever the Ozolith dies, put a counter on target creature. Something like that. Alright, so Deep Cavern Bat. Probably going to take Thrill Seeker. We can play Sentinel, attack. If they want to block, we put 2 counters on the thing. Maybe that's bad, though. Maybe we just put 2 counters on this and attack. Alright, let's go Sentinel. I don't know that I want to attack, though. I guess if I attack, they're not going to block. They're not going to block. It's Deep Cavern Bat. They're not going to block. Give me my Thrill Seeker back if you want. This card has been not good, though. This is going to be my first cut whenever we figure out what to play instead. This card has been like the most text to least impressive I have ever seen on a Magic card. It's got a lot of words to do nothing. Oh, this is Steven from Swish? Oh, Dykeman? Prophet of Fire's Dykeman? Oh shit, it is. Alright, we'll take the 1. I wish this had Reach and Vigilance. You know? They're Sentinels, yeah? Is it the mana base? We did lose a game to the mana base pillage. We also lost a mirror match. It was just like the least interactive thing I'd ever seen. Draws with Rot Priest are crazy, and draws without Rot Priest are pretty weak. I've felt stupid playing the deck because there's a bunch of cards I've literally never seen before or whatever, so. Alright, so let's go. Do we map? Do you think Wormlet on top? I think we go Graveyard. Map, map, map. Map, map, map. Map. How's this deck fare against temporary lockdown? It loses. You can't beat it. You can play some disenchants or whatever. We have some Haywire Mites. We got, I don't know, the option to play a bunch of stuff. No one has cast that card against me yet. I had it in the sideboard of my like Esper Mentor deck, and it was excellent when I had it. Alright, so they found land number 5, but they can only play a 4-drop. Go for a throat on a big boy. Makes sense. Maybe the Wormlet was worth keeping. I thought putting a creature in the graveyard would be good just for Soul Cauldron stuff. But we can make a big Iron Apprentice here with Cauldron and Ozolith. Be a 5. Beast Caller, though, man. Beast Caller's just been absolutely nothing. Exile their bats. None of my things have abilities. Yeah, Lockdown definitely more common in Pioneer. This deck can't beat a Lockdown, though. Our deck is all 1s and 2s except for 8 3-drops. And we're all permanents. Every deck has Achilles heel or whatever, like, I don't know. If Temporary Lockdown was more prevalent, like if the mono white deck was everywhere and they were built to play Lockdown instead of ambitious farm hands and stuff, and Blue Eye Control or whatever was playing 3 or 4 main deck, and I don't know. Maybe there's a universe where this deck is unplayable, but right now it doesn't seem like it. Lame. I'm just getting worked by this green-black deck, man. I found the good Golgari matchup. You have no faith in medicine! Gonna put a bunch of counters on Beast Caller, so if it dies, we get to put them on the Wormlet. Hopefully they don't have another frickin' Gix's command to ruin my day. This is Raja's deck. Raja Suleiman. Alright, let's see how I get sad now. Let's see how I get sad now. Was there a way to play around this at all? No? Damn. Do we keep a no 1-drop on the draw? Probably. This hand's okay. Oh no! 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 Not this deck, man. I just... Alright. Oh, Wormlet off the top. That's pretty good. Doesn't do anything this turn, but maybe eventually it'll do something. Maybe we'll peel Shattered Spire off the top. I don't give a fuck! Cam with a 61 months. Says, hey, you look familiar. Have I seen you somewhere before? I don't know. Have you ever been to this channel before? You know? Thank you so much, Cam. Appreciate you. All right, Beast Caller coming down. We're going to attack with the Wormlet. Opponent kept a weird one. Double Seed Core draw. I don't have to worry too much about them playing spells in combat, so I can just block with Worm Beast Caller. There's a good chance they just concede. Think there's a good chance they just concede here. All right, let's get NT down, or Sentinel down. That'll pump the Wormlet and the Beast Caller. We'll get aggressive. Unlike Pendlehaven, Seed Core can only be used if you have 3 poison counters on the opponent. Yeah, see. All right, easy game. Opponent didn't do anything. That's why I hate that deck. Torture Tower coming in. I don't think any of these other removal spells are that good. Maybe Barrage is okay. I'll consider a couple of Lithomantic. We need to kill their things. And we don't really care about Soul Cauldron stuff. They're just a kind of a do-nothing deck. Actually, I'm going to cut a Thrill Seeker over a Inti. We'll get a couple Barrages just to kill the white creatures, but there's not that many targets for it. New viewer, who dis? Ah, shit. Alright. Someone give Cam a sub. New sub, who dis? Alright, keep, but not happy. I'm gonna put back the Thrill Seeker. But we got the old turn 1 Wormlet, turn 2 Wormlet Iron Apprentice if we draw the land. If not, we just got a slow draw, but we'll see. Appreciate you, Cam. Hope you're doing well. I see late at night or early in the morning, I'm not sure which, but I see your retweets of like cool art and stuff. It makes me happy. Makes me think about you. All right, well, we drew land, so we're in business. Jawbone Duelist. Scary. But we do have the Lithomantic for it. All right, we'll take the one. If we draw the third land, All right, so we'll go Wormlet. Go Barrage. I'm going to attack for 1. I don't feel like it's worth it to try to double block because we just get hounded by a bounce spell. So we'll just give him a free poison. Alright, I'm going to say go. And I'm going to offer a lot of blocking if they want to do anything. I don't think that they can win by just targeting their stuff a bunch unless they play another Rot Priest. And so I'm not going to get super aggressive until they play another Rot Priest. And I want to be able to like double and triple block some stuff. Skrull changes things a little bit. But they have no defense in their deck. They're not really a defensive deck, so... Land. There we go. Alright, Sentinel plus a big attack. This should be good enough to turn the corner. Alright, so we'll just swing with Wormlets. And then they should be mostly dead next turn, because very few of their creatures can block. This should put us at a nice 4-1 with our first iteration of Gruul Scales, featuring Ozolith the Shattered Spire. Awesome. Okay, let's go over the deck, because that was a pretty clean 4-1, and our loss was to a great player, Steven Dykman, Player of the Year and champion of the NRG series this past year, and playing that Golgari deck. But Golgari deck has a bunch of cut downs, and cut down is specifically great against our strategy because our deck is just full of 1s and 2s that just like, you know, are vulnerable to the spot removal. And when cut down is bad, Golgari is bad, but when cut down is good, Golgari is very difficult to beat because they just put a lot of really efficient threats on the table that are difficult to deal with. They have some life gain, they have a lot of removal, they got a couple sweepers, they got some card advantage. There's a lot to love about the Golgari deck when you're playing against a creature-based strategy like this one. But this deck in particular, I think, is special because it's an aggro deck first and foremost, and then it has the ability to do some cool combo kills with Agathas and Thrillseeker. I was not impressed at all with Quirion Beastcaller. You know, I don't actually play Questing Druid that much in outside of like basically mono red, and so this card, you know, we basically just see the back half cast, the Seek the Beast, and it's rare that we actually see the Questing Druid itself get played. I'm assuming that in this deck it would not be very good because we're base green and artifacts, and it only triggers on, you know, non-green, non-artifact cards. And so while I do think that Seek the Beast would be good in this deck, I don't think that Questing Druid is good in this deck. And I think you really need both of them to be good for the card to really want to see play in your strategy. With that said, I think that there's a potential for like a mono red splashing green for Ozolith and Questing Druid, and it's basically the same deck but without the artifact synergies, and plays like Kumano. We talked about it a little bit in like the first match when I was talking to chat, but this is the deck, man. It seems sweet. I think I'm gonna just like do a bunch of content about this deck because it seems cool and it seems more powerful than most of the other decks I've played with so far. It's definitely the most exciting deck I've played so far. And I think that it has legs against most of the format. And the mid-range decks, specifically the Golgari one, I think is going to be tough. But the other, like, Deep Cavern Bat decks, I don't think are going to be that troublesome. You know, I think that the sideboard can maybe use a little work. I think In the Festivities is a little weak. I could have brought it in against the Skrelv deck. I don't think you need to. I would just cut them. I would just play more Torch the Tower. Torch the Tower can help out a lot in some other matchups. And In the Festivities, I think it's just a little too narrow. But Arlen Pax Hope, a little too expensive, I think, to be good. I'll be looking for like a cool 3, maybe Urbrass's Forge. Urbrass's Forge is probably a better sideboard card for this deck because it has a lot of artifact synergies, and it does something very similar to Arlen where it just produces big threat, big threat, big threat, and it's an artifact. But yeah, this is Gruul Scales featuring Ozolith. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. Make sure to check out our sponsors, Brainstorm Brewery, Apex Gaming, and Moxfield. Make sure to check out my Patreon for written content if you like sideboard guides, patreon.com/Tandy. That's going to do it for me today. Thank you so much for hanging. Y'all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you tomorrow.